Shane McClanahan making his return to the mound. And, as I tweeted last night, and you may not have seen, he may have run out of gas in the fifth inning, but I was thrilled with Shane McClanahan's performance last night. I think most Rays fans had to be pretty, unless you're one of those incredibly reactive fans. It's like, oh, I gave it up in the fifth, and then you're just not paying close enough attention or thinking enough about the situation. You could see the first time he gave up a walk, and I thought Brian Anderson on the broadcast did a great job of explaining why he was so frustrated. But you could see the first time he gave up a walk, you could hear it. By the way, he yelled F, like. He was fantastic last night.
I think it was that walk was the first of two he gave up to Gary Sanchez in the second inning.
You are correct, sir.
And both, I believe, were 3-2 counts. And he missed that, that pitch, both of them, by a wide margin.
Yeah.
And I think the first one he threw was a slider and just couldn't get it, didn't get any, it was never alive, that pitch.
Brian Anderson called it a non-competitive pitch. Like, it just didn't come out of his hand. It's like sometimes you just miss, and sometimes it doesn't come out of your hand the way you want it to, and that's the way Brian was describing it. Like, it wasn't just that he didn't get the pitch where he wanted it. It was he didn't like the way it came out.
And I love the reaction from Shane.
Me too.
Ultimate competitor. And you saw it yesterday, and he was rolling through four, gets to the fifth, and had some trouble there in the fifth, and then eventually had to get removed from that game. There was a wonky situation that actually
I like the word wonky.
We knew it was going to be his last batter, and
Yep.
it's a base hit. Game's tied at that point. The runner scores. We know from second. We know that was going to happen. And
we thought the game was tied, you mean?
Yeah, and then there was a rundown, and the rundown got awkward. It got so awkward that Cedric Mullins had to be involved all the way out from the outfield, and he had the ball in his glove, and at first, they called him out on the tag out. The runner did not score, so it would have been a 2-2 ball game. And then eventually they went back and looked at it, and it turns out that the ball was, they called it him safe because they said Cedric Mullins never had control of the ball. The ball was out of his glove.
During the rundown, they never showed what was happening at home plate. It was always close in on second base. And I was actually, and you mentioned how long the rundown took, and that's why Cedric Mullins ended up with the baseball. I was surprised when they mentioned, when we all thought it was an out, that they hadn't scored the run first.
Me too.
I thought that the run would have come across, and even though they got the third out, that the run would have counted because it would have come before the third out.
How could he not have gotten across?
I know. I wish we could have seen home plate to see what exactly took so long. Because I knew it in my heart, like they must have scored. And when they said they didn't, I was like, wow, awesome. I can't believe it's still a tied game. And then we found out it, in fact, was not.
Massive moment in the game, and either way, it would have been tied at that point, and Shane McClanahan was leaving that game. Sulser came in, he closed out the inning, but didn't do too well in the next inning where Milwaukee broke it open for good. But that's the problem with the bullpen, and that's the thing is, you knew with Shane McClanahan, he's on a pitch count. He was going to go 70, 75 pitches or so.
I think he went 79 in total.
Yep, and I would have loved, he was rolling to a point where you probably could have gotten 6 out of him if he would have gotten out of that fifth unscathed, but that wasn't the case. And you're seeing now, and I know it's still early in the season, and it's one bad inning for Sulser, but the bullpen is an issue.
I
don't feel confident.
telling me all spring that it was going to be great.
I don't feel confident right now, the ball being handed off. That's just an emotional feeling that I have.
Well, how could you? How could you? Right? And last night it had to be handed off because Shane was in that spot. But, yeah, nobody feels good when they're going to the bullpen right now as Rays fans. But I do, you may be, again, frustrated or whatever by the fact that the wheels fell off or he ran out of gas, whatever you want to call it, in the fifth inning for Shane McClanahan. But for me, I was, like I said to start the show, I was thrilled with his performance. I won't say I don't care that he ran out of gas in the fifth inning, but I'm not surprised by it at all. And we talked about this before the show, me, you, and Sam. This start for Shane last night, his first since August of 2023, there is zero question that the adrenaline that had to be going through him. I mean, you saw him in between innings, they'd show him, and he'd be bouncing the little ball off the wall, and, I don't think he sat down once. The adrenaline going through Shane McClanahan last night, his first start in well over 2 years, there's no doubt that is going to be different than every start now moving forward. those jitters, that first game back adrenaline. Like, it's not that he's not going to have adrenaline, but I felt like he had too much adrenaline last night. I felt like a walk, like Aaron mentioned, the first one last night was. It's not something you're going to yell F about all the time, right? But he was so amped up, and that's, to me, part of the reason why he ran out of gas in the fifth. So I think what he showed early is a guy that looks like the guy we all expect him to be and who he will be in almost every start. And everybody's going to have hiccups, but I expect that to be him moving forward, and that's great.
I think Yandy Diaz was the only one in the lineup last night that was in the lineup the last time Shane McClanahan pitched.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's insane how long it's been.
He's got to be, right?
So I'm with you. Like I'm happy for Shane. I'm glad that he is such a competitor, that he cared so much. I don't know if that he was too high, because for 4 innings it was good for him. For the 5th inning, like, he just kind of lost his stuff, and that's not a surprise. He did talk about his takeaways though after the game.
We lost, so I'm having a hard time with that. I can give me an excuse of it's been 2.5 years, but I'm not going to do that. I want to win. I'm here to win. I got to execute better. I'm frustrated. Obviously, I want to win and help this team, and I let them down today.
I love his attitude that he is pissed off after that performance, but I don't think he should be. But, Aaron, when I talked about the adrenaline, right, you said you don't think he was too high because it worked for the first 4 innings. Adrenaline isn't necessarily a bad thing when it comes, in my opinion, when it comes to performance, right? Like, if you're mentally too high and you can't control yourself, that's one thing. I don't think that was the issue with Shane McClanahan last night. It's kind of like what Ian says when it comes to, like, practice versus playing a game in the NFL. That adrenaline makes you so much more tired at the end of the day. He wasn't performing poorly because of the adrenaline, but when you're up that high and your adrenaline is that high, you will tire out quicker. So I expect that he won't tire out as quickly in starts moving forward because the adrenaline just won't be amped up as high.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's a poor performance because of it, but it will tire you out.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of that and the fact that he just hasn't pitched in almost 1,000 days. He hadn't pitched in almost 1,000 days. You could see that first fly out to left when Shane gets that first out. You could see it was like a sigh of relief, shaking his head, and like, oh yeah, okay, we're back. That lineup, by the way, I did mention the last time he pitched almost 1,000 days ago before yesterday. Yandy Diaz was the only one that was in that lineup yesterday.
Give us the rest of the lineup because it'll be kind of funny to listen to.
Do you guys want to guess? Do you guys want to guess?
No.
You don't want to guess at all? You're like, no, that would go bad for me. Sam, you want to guess at all?
2023.
2023. Who was the shortstop of that team?
Was it Walsh?
It was either Wander or Walsh.
It was Wander.
Ugh.
Second base.
Brandon Lau.
There you go.
Unless he was hurt like he always is.
It was Lau. DH, Randy Arozarena. Third base.
Was it Yandy? No.
Yandy was playing first.
Oh, all right.
Isak.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Left field, Luke Raley. Jose Siri got himself in the game as well. Manny Margot, one of my favorites. Josh Lowe, and catching. Who do you think is catching? By the way, nice home run for Nick Fortes last night. I like the power.
Shot.
Yeah, I like the power. I like that kid. I like what I see so far. And I like what I've seen from him. It was Rene Pinto.
I would have guessed Mejia, but
the great Rene
Francisco
Pinto.
Mejia. Wow. Name. I bet we can. There's how many Rays catchers?
Who's the kid?
10 years.
Who's the kid a couple years ago that you just hated? Like every time he was in the lineup.
Jackson.
Yes.
Austin Jackson.
Yes.
I believe it was,
That
right?
was a lot of fun.
Is that who it was? Alex Jackson. Was it Alex?
Yeah, I think it was.
He was
Alex.
so bad.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve for us to remember his name correctly. So I like that you called him Austin Jackson to start out. Let's go with that, even though it's wrong.
Yeah, it was Alex
That's
Jackson.
That's how bad he was. He deserves for us to get his name wrong. I mean, he was floating around 100. That dude was bad. Shane McClanahan was bad last night in a good way. He was a bad man. Shane McClanahan was a bad man. It was great. It was great to see him back to looking like himself early in the game.
And for him, it's got to be great just to get back out there. He talked about
absolutely
feeling good.
Yeah, felt good. Just frustrated. I had a chance to put this team in the driver's seat to potentially win this the game with this bullpen we got, and I just kind of sold it. I'm frustrated. Obviously, I've the next 5-6 days to hone in and figure some stuff out and work, and I'm going to obviously take every second I can and take advantage of that, and just got to be better. And that's just what it boils down to.
How is he? You got to take something good out of this kid.
Love it. I love it. No, I love it.
I do.
Don't take anything good.
I love the attitude, but if I'm Kevin Cash, I'm being like, hey man, that was great. Like that's exactly what we need from you. We know you ran out of gas in the 5th, but it was your first time back in, like you said, like 1,000 days. Like I think 973 to be exact. Dwayne Stats mentioned last night. Like you can chill out. That was great, and we can't wait to see more. Like don't. Like,
I love that he wants more. Out of
course,
it. That's
yeah.
awesome.
It is awesome.